So then we'll jump into it, and I work with a lot of issues at the Swedish Environmental Protection Agency, and the ESPR is one of them. So where are we currently in the ESPR, and that's the kind of the what I am talking about today. I think just to be clear first, when we say ESPR, sometimes it is it's kind of you can have different understanding of what that is. I mean, because the regulation, the ecodesign regulation, it has now really replaced the previous ecodesign directive. So all the products all the energy related products that were previously regulated under the ecodesign directive, they are now under the directive, they are now under the regulation. So of course, they are still mainly treated then by the energy agency, and that is responsible agency in Sweden. We and other agencies are supporting them. But I will focus, of course, on the non-energy related products in this presentation. However, there are some things that are quite common to them all. So I think I'll give you a bit of an overview on how you set the product requirements, something on the ongoing pre-studies. Then we have a couple of pieces of information that is not in delegated acts, but are written directly into the regulation. That's the articles regarding the information on destruction of unsold consumer goods and the prohibition against destruction of unsold goods. And then a bit on how to get engaged and how to learn more and be active in this journey. So this is just to give kind of an overview on how you set the product requirements in the ESPR. There is, of course, a working program that is running now from 2025 to 2030, where the Commission have kind of declared which product areas it will be working with, developing these different ecodesign requirements. And for these different product groups, of course, there are then preparatory studies that are running. So kind of the way forward how to establish the rules, and this is something that was established then or already several years ago under the ecodesign directive, and because the ecodesign regulation now has it not only encompass more different kinds of products, but also have very different sets of requirements and contains different things. For example, the digital product passport, which was not in the ecodesign directive. So the needs when you develop the rules, that they have changed, and I would say that the Commission is gradually adapting towards that. They are hosting these ecodesign forums where different actors, member states and industry actors, have the possibility to influence. And in the long run, they will then, through these different pre-studies, these preparatory studies, they will get to the ecodesign measures that will be in a delegated act. And then there will be a 1.5 years or more time before these measures applies. So that is just something to understand, that it is quite a long process, and there's a lot of stuff that has to be done still. And of course, also this restricts what you can say about what will be the requirements, or both the ecodesign requirements and the requirements on the digital product passport. I mean, just kind of to say to get ahead of it, we don't really know yet. So that's the way it is. So there's someone who hasn't muted their microphone there. Maybe you should look into that. So this is the method. The method that is called MEERP. That's the EE. That's energy related products. This is kind of the overall method that the the commission and their consultants. So it can be the JRC or it can be more of an external consultant. So this is the method that they are applying, and I think if you want to understand about how the requirements are set, you kind of need to get an overview of them. Unfortunately, it's a bit difficult because they have still not published a kind of a comprehensive description of this. They made an update a couple of years ago, and then they are referring to the original document that they were established for the 2009 Eco-Design Directive. But I think the one important thing is that there are several different aspects then that, as I said before, they were not in the directive, but they are now in the regulation. And the DPPs, they are one of them. And I think what was clear from the previous Eco-Design forum that was hosted on November 24th was that although the Commission, they have to some extent adopted the methodology, the former MEERP to be an ESPR method, it is still a lot of things that are ongoing. So I think they will be, what they said is they will continue to develop it within the different preparatory studies, and then they will kind of consolidate it into one method. But they for sure they have a method, they have a way to go about how to investigate the different products and how to establish the different design options, kind of where the requirements are more clear. So these are the delegated acts that are ongoing, or actually I should say maybe the preparatory studies. And these are the ones that are relating to non-energy related products that are finished products, so not intermediate or horizontal. Of course, we have the textile and apparel, and I think you will have a bit more focus on that from Ulrika later on today. It is the one that was started first, the one that has come the furthest. And I think it's if you are interested in the way the method works and the way eco-design requirements are established, it's interesting to take a look at it, because it kind of it says something about the way it is moving forward. So even if it's not the kind of products that you are into, it might still be very interesting. We are currently there was a stakeholder meeting in January, and we are currently preparing our reply to that. There's a consultation ongoing, so you can submit replies until March 30th. And as I said in the part where I get into how you can get engaged, there is a link where you can find out if you want to kind of enroll and be part of this process. We haven't not yet received a meeting for the upcoming Eco-Design Forum, and then it's due for publishing next year. Furniture is another one that's very interesting to us, I think. It is to be started this year. So far, no Eco-Design Forum set, but due for publishing in 2028. And then tires, they were also started already last year, and this is ongoing. It says consultation February 2026. I did not hear anything during February 2026 from that, so I think it's something that we should expect to happen any minute now. But you can argue that there is a lot to do under ESPR, and sometimes the Commission might be a bit too enthusiastic setting the timeline, perhaps. Besides the finished products, there are also preparatory studies ongoing and kind of envisaged for both for intermediate products and for horizontal. So the intermediates, the iron and steel, is one that is ongoing, that was started after the textile one. And of course, intermediate products, they were not part of the Ecodesign Directive. So this is something that is new and something that needs development here of the methodology. It is due for publishing then in 2026. Although I also think that it will be interesting to see how the Commission will make progress in this. Aluminum to be started in 2026. And then we have the horizontal measures, which is also something that is, I mean, that was already in the directive, where it was the possibility to set them. And for the regulation now, it's investigated even further. So the first off is the repairability, which has started and where impact assessment will be carried out. And it's focused on electronic and electric devices. There's another one also in the working plan. I mean, all these that they are the ones that are set in the working plan for 2025 to 2030, which is about recycled content and recyclability, and also then within the area of electronic and electric equipment. This is just to show you and to let you know that of course there are also these energy related products that are in the working plan. So they are kind of inherited from the previous working plan that was for energy related products. So there are 2 slides on this on what's this is what's going on. I'm not sure. Let me check back here. Night sources. There are even more that are not then ongoing, but they are currently regulated under the old rules from the directive. I think in total it's 35 different product groups. So this is just to say that the Commission already had a lot planned even before introducing these new non-energy related products. And as it said at the bottom of this, there is a transition regime. So basically, you can say that the ones that have progressed quite a lot, they will be finalized under the Ecodesign Directive rules, whereas the newer ones, they will be developed totally under ESPR. And I think if you are interested, then as I suppose you are in digital product passports, of course there is a special in article, what can it be, 9.4 in the ESPR on the digital product passport. There is of course a way to kind of not have digital product passports if there is similar things. And for the energy related, there is something similar, and that's the EPREL database. And this has been argued by industry a lot, that this should be able to be used also for under the ESPR. And I think this, I haven't heard the Commission contradict it, but I think it's kind of up for discussion still. What will happen, but they haven't said no, and I think maybe that's kind of a silent agreement that it will work. But then on the other hand, the EPREL was developed with certain objectives in mind, and I can't tell if they correlate 100% with what is required under the ESPR. And of course, it will also depend on the regulations, the special requirements for that product group. So I think it maybe the EPREL needs to be further evaluated. Staffan, you have a question?
Yes, I do. Hi, I'm Staffan from GS1 Sweden. So the discussion on EPREL. So I've heard people saying that, well, if you're in EPREL, you don't need DPPs. But shouldn't it also be possible to go the other way? So companies that provide DPPs would be exempted from having the requirement to be in EPREL. Because EPREL is very locked. It's not very popular among many companies. So they want to, if they can have something that they manage themselves, they would like to be exempted from the requirement to be an EPRO.
Yeah, I must admit I haven't heard a lot about that. I think to some extent because this is very much on the products that the energy agency are more responsible for. It will be I think it's something that we will between the government agencies discuss within our work and then see what happens, what the commission says. I can't bring any further advice on it currently, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you.
But it's good that you bring it to our attention. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So just something about the textile preparatory study, which you will hear more about. I think what you should one thing that you can see from it, something that is on the different design options that they have been proposed here. This is proposals by the JRC in a preparatory study. It's not the delegated act, so it's still a long way to go. But I think something that stands out from them is that they are mainly then information requirements, and they are then mainly focusing on voluntary things to do, actions, kind of giving the possibilities for the companies to provide different kinds of information. And that, on the other hand, then puts a lot of focus on the consumer choices. So if you compare these that are kind of investigated currently, I think they are rather far from what you have seen under the directive, where you have put a kind of, no, this is a limit. If your product use more energy than this certain amount, you're not allowed to put it on the market. But I think there's still a lot to be said about this, and you can, of course, you can think about what is the reasoning from the JRC. Why are they proposing these and not something more aggressive? Would they think that the current commission is reluctant to have quite hard requirements? You can, of course, speculate about that, but I don't really know. I don't have any such insights. So this is something that, I mean, for the products, of course, you need to have the delegated act finished and published before you know what requirements there will be. And this is kind of the bulk of the requirements in the regulation. But then there are these things that are then written hard into the regulation on disclosure of information on unsold consumer products and the on destruction of unsold consumer products. So this is kind of actually now this is in force. So this is Article 24. So basically it says that large companies need to disclose information on unsold consumer products. So if they are destroyed. So this is in itself not it doesn't it's not that it's not allowed, but it's, you need to inform about it. And so this is currently something that you need to adhere to if you are a large company. Medium-sized companies, for them it will apply from 2030. And now the Commission has published an implementing act for the format of this, so you should know, so you can read how you need to do this. How should you publish it? As of yet now, there's no Swedish government agency that has received the responsibility for the regulatory oversight. So I think it's hard to envisage that a company would be approached by a government agency for not obeying this, since no government agency has that mandate, really. There is this, of course, related article on destruction of unsold consumer products, which prohibits the destruction. And this is linked then to the Annex 7, which may be supplemented by the Commission. But as of now, it's basically apparel and footwear, or textiles and footwear. And they also have published an implementing act for this format. And this act also then includes a list of derogations. So there are certain criteria when you are allowed to destroy them if they are contaminated, and if they are kind of, it's a list that kind of gives like a possibility to do this. Yes, I have a question, Laura.
Hi, sorry for interrupting. Just wondering, which agency would you expect to be responsible for the oversight of the information on the unsold goods? I mean, if you just get to sort of think freely.
If I think freely, I would not be surprised if the EPA receives that. Okay. I think that is. I would be surprised if another agency receives it.
It's a fair assumption. Thank you.
Yeah. I have a special slide on that also. But yeah, so as of now, we can't really tell. And so also, I think since no agency has it, I would assume that no agency is doing it. And this is just a slide on that altogether, that this is something that has been looked into by the government offices to divide this national responsibility for the regulatory oversight and the market surveillance. And of course, the Energy Agency, they have had these market surveillance for the energy-related products for a long while. And currently, they are trying to figure out how to divide this between the Energy Agency, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Chemicals Agency. So they had a referral on this until December 19th, and they are to conclude this by July 1st. If I'm to think freely of why we still do not know this, I would say that they have really a lot on their table. So it might be that they need to prioritize other things. Sooner or later, we'll know this. Anyway. So this is a bit on how to get engaged. If you want to know more about the development of the ESPR, I think for one, it's this Commission Product Policy Bureau. So they this site they don't publish only about ESPR, but about green public procurement and about eco labeling, etc. So they have a lot of things, and here you can. This is the main way if you want to get engaged for the textiles and for the iron and steel, etc. Links to where you can be part of those developments. The preparatory study for the tires, however, that's run by not run by the JRC. It's Vito, a consultancy. So they have a different site where you can say that you are interested and get the information about those parts. The Commission also has, of course, this register of expert groups. So there are a lot of expert groups, and the Ecodesign Forum, it is one of these expert groups. And if you want to read the notes from the meetings and see the agendas, you can look into this to see what are they talking about. Of course, the Ecodesign and Energy Labeling Working Plan that I have been coming back to, that is also very interesting to see, does our products, if you're in a company, does your product, are they in it, or are you producing something? Is it in your supply chain? Are your customer's customer producing something that is in the working plan? So that's also something to keep kind of good to keep track on. And then, of course, I think the Swedish and the European business organizations, they are working a lot with these issues. They are engaged. If the ones that are on the European level, they might even be part of the eco-design forum, so they might have then first-hand access to this information. So on the same level, basically, that the member states. But I think also I have quite a lot of contact with different business organizations in Sweden, and I think they are well informed, and we have a cooperation on how to inform each other. Okay, I think that was actually my final slide.